Vaheguru Ji Ka
का
Khalsa,
खालसा
Vaheguru
वाहिगुरु
Ji
जी
Ki
की फतेह.
Fateh. Okay. Secondly, welcome back to the fifth episode of the Aatam Gyan podcast. By the looks of it, we've probably lost a few along the way and probably gained some. If this is your first episode that you're listening to, go back and start listening to episode one and then move through it. If some of you are struggling, re-listen to podcasts. I'm doing it myself. I'm re-listening, I'm reading, and I'm coming with questions. And this is just the key. It's just us learning, and it's our trip to have a relationship with Bhai Daya Singh and an insight into how amazing they were. So, but I don't think any questions have come in the last couple of days. Have you seen any?
No, there were a few that we kind of just answered right on the board.
Angie?
But yeah, no, nothing to
Because I
um,
checked a couple of days ago, but not seen anything since.
no.
But since then, I've had loads of conversations with a few people that are listening to the podcast, and all their questions are coming back to Karam over and over. They're asking about different things of Karam.
Really?
So that's something that we can revisit one day, just a question and answer session on Karam. But I did have a question the other day. I was, when you have those little things that the radio things that everyone listens to with Sage Bart and stuff.
Yeah.
I was listening to one the other day, and as you're passing through the room, I heard that Shabad Jinko Purab Likhya Tin Satgur Milya Aaye.
Hmm.
And then it hit different. I go Jinko Purab Likhya, like the Purab Likharam that are written in Satguru Milya Aaye. And it's because of those Purab Likharam that we have Satguruji in this Jeevan, that we get to meet Satguruji, and we're so fortunate, and there's so many that are not. And the question came to mind, is it only through Purab Karam and Jo Likhya in Sadhguru Mile Aaye, or will others without that Purab Karam meet Sadhguruji in this life as well? And if not, then what's the point in doing Prachar?
So I think the short, actually, there's no short answer to this one. This is actually a pretty deep question that you asked. It's a yes and no.
Anji.
But according to Gurbani, yes, because I mean, we can't go outside of Gurbani. Gurbani is complete, but also you have to understand that it's a Purab Karam that kind of triggers something towards the Guru. But then, what is that Karam that you did that led you to the Guru? And that's actually Gur Prasad.
Anji.
One thing you have to understand: there's no amount of good Karam that you can do that will lead you to the Guru. And when I say that, it's like what I'm trying to say is it's only when the Guru is compassionate and when the Guru does daya on you, rehem on you, is that you're going to meet the Guru. And then on top of that, Nanak Nadri Nadar Nihal, right? Even that is basically if the Guru wills it and the Guru is, compassionate on you, then you will receive mukti. I saw a very nice story on YouTube, and it said the universe meets you when you surrender, but not when you're at the height of your lowest. So think about it. It's like all bad is happening to you, and it's that's not the time when Guru comes to you. Guru comes to you when you surrender. मैं तो कुछ नहीं, मेरे को कुछ नहीं होता. That's when the Guru does kirpa. So yes, Purva Karmana. There's many sakhis that we can say. Like it comes in Suraj Prakash as well. Some Sikh did dan, right? They were doing dan to langar, or they fed pigeons, or a pigeon gave their life away, right? And then they became a Sikh, right? If you look at it, I mean, there's no amount of karma that we can do that can lead us to the Satgur. It's all compassion, it's all daya, right?
That this Shabad Daya Kuru Kushmera Par Dubda Patthar Tare. Where those
Exactly.
thinking Patthar, and only through their Daya, only through anything that they give us that we're blessed with Sikhi or having their darshan.
Like, look how we met Gyaniji, right? If you kind of go back into your life and it's like, okay, that happened, that happened, that happened. I met Gyaniji, then this happened, then Gyaniji started teaching us. What did we have any special gurn that Gyaniji started teaching us? It was just
The
his compassion.
opposite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? He felt sorry for us, right? Or the Guru feels sorry for you. Chal, dubde patthar tare, right? Daya karo kuch mehru paavo, dubde patthar tare, right? So it's basically on compassion, and you can say that the Guru is compassion over the one who becomes humble, right? ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਹਿ ਦਵੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ there's more to this world, there's more something, the shubh ichha, the shubh ichha, and the shubh vichar that comes with compassion as well, but that initially coming leads you to the path of Gyan, right?
And kind of for to receive that compassion, jinko blikka, everything needs to align anyway. You need to have the janam, you need to be in that time, place, that circumstance, that Maharaj's Guru Prasad, that there can happen as well.
Guru Prasad Yasi Buddhasamai, right? So it's through the Guru Prasad that the buddhi became pure and aligned, right, with everything kind of coming together, right? It's like the butterfly effect. Everything conspired for you to come to this point and meet the Guru. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole universe conspired, right?
And it's the same
with you.
The people listening, they could be listening to anything on YouTube, but it's everything's conspired for them to listen to this, to listen to Brahm Vichar, to listen to some Sikhi or Gurbani. It's divine grace ultimately.
Yeah, I mean, a couple days ago, I just finished editing the second Ras, and near the end of the second Ras, Bhai Belloji, Bhai Manjji, right, all their prasangs come. And it was, remember, Bhai Bello was a person who was, he was worshipping the Sakhi Sarvar. And he was like the leader of his group. Like he was like their, I get what you would call Jathedar, who would gather his Sangat and go. And all of a sudden, a Sikh comes to him and says, Guru Arjan Dev Ji is calling you. And he's like, I've never met your Guru before. I don't know who he is. Why is he calling me? And then he's like, Sikhs going back and forth from Amritsar to his place, right? And then he's like, there's a chitti that comes, and Guru Arjan Dev Ji writes, like, you've been my Sikh from my last birth. Every time I've ever taken avatar, you've been with me. This is your last birth where you're supposed to do mukti. I want you to come and do seva at Amritsar Sarovar. And he's like, okay, tell me what my last birth was, right? And then Guru Sahib writes his last birth, and then he's really intrigued. He's really amazed that this person knows my last birth. Right, and then he's like, okay, he's like, if I'm not meant to be, if Sakhi Sarvar is greater, then I want to see some sign. And then he doesn't see any sign. In fact, he gets all these good omens. The sun is up, and the birds are singing, and the wind is blowing in the right way. And he leaves with the Sikh, and he decides that he's still waiting, like the Sakhi Sarvar Kundi or whatever they call it, right? And he had his thing, and then he decides that he's going to throw it away when he gets on top of the ship. So by the time he gets on top of the ferry or canoe or whatever he used to cross the river, then he takes his Sakhi Sarvar symbols, he throws it into the water, and then he bows, right? Like, how did that happen, right? What was the karam in his last birth? He was Guru Sahib Sevak, but then why did he become a Sakhi Sarvar Pujari, right? We don't know. It's through Guru's compassion. Right, that he came to Amritsar.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful Sakhi.
Oh yeah, that whole section, the Sikhandi Pagatmala of Surya Prakashgan, is excellent.
Before we get started today, you're telling that Sakhi and you're talking about his Pishla Janam. What do you think you were in your Pishla Janam?
In my Pishla Janam, I was an egotistical person who was a little bit high on his knowledge, and I got cursed, and and here, you want to know something funny? Is actually, now that you asked that, I'm kind of, I don't know, I should be saying that on air or something rather.
Yeah, no one's listening as well.
So every time I've had an ustad, I had a ustad who was, I've had world-renowned ustads. Gyan Charan Singh Ji from Singapore, right? Baba Inderjit Singh Ji, I spent a lot of time with him. Gyani Ji, right? But then I always end up with learning, like I guess their teaching assistant or somebody else. I always end up learning for somebody who was like half my age. So whether I took Santhya, I took starting Santhya with Baba Inderjit Singh, right? And then, after he leaves or something, and then the ustads I get after that, they're all half my age. And it's a pattern, even for tabla. Even for tabla, same thing happened, right? Learning from Gyan Charan Singh, Singapore. Then I had Ustad Mohan Singh Ji, who was obviously older than me. But then after that, I had Ustad Jasmeet Singh Chana, right? And then other people, they were half my age. I think, and Gyani Ji kind of hinted this, is that I was high up on my ego, and then I had this whole status thing, and then in my next life, I had to have ustads that were younger than me to bring me back to the ground.
That's a blessing as well, though. That's a
Yeah,
blessing.
yeah, yeah. It's very good. Like it is. I'm glad to have met everybody that I did, and there's Gyani Harsimran Singh ji, Gyani ji's eldest son, right? He's an excellent teacher, very knowledgeable person, pure saint. In the words of a selfless saint, doesn't want to be exposed.
Like such premi, like
You've met him, yes, right?
Yeah.
He came to England once. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to be exposed. Like, I'm pushing him. Can you please put your kathas on YouTube? He's happy doing his regular morning and evening katha at Manji Sahib near his home. He's making shastras now. He's self-sustained himself, raising his kids, and all his nieces and nephews all come to him.
His kids are doing katha. His kid's like 9 years old doing katha.
Karan Singh is doing Pothi Seva with him. Karan Singh was doing Katha, and his younger brother, he was sitting on Pothi.
They doing Katha. I'm like, I don't know this. These kids are like 9, 10. Like, and the way they do Katha, they have an understanding of what they're saying. It's not just Totaratan where they're repeating. They understand it, and I was like, wow.
This is Gyaniji's Pratap, and this is one thing I do want to tell everybody, is that I remember when Ustad Sukhwinder Singh Ji Pinky Ji came, we used to learn from him too when he came to Ustad Mohan Singh Ji's house. One thing he said is Jaswinder, Guru Kar, remember that. Respect your Guru Kar. And I'm talking about your Ustad's house. Every member of your Ustad's house is your Guru. Is Guru Mata, right? Guru Putter, right? They will all teach you. A Guru Kar is always be the das of the Guru. He used to say, because he learned from Pandit Kishan Ji Maharaj from Banaras, and then he said to him, he goes, Pika, Guru ki seva mein dhyan do, table ka dhyan mat karo, wo aa jayega. Guru ki seva karo, serve your Guru, right? Don't worry about the vidya. Let the Guru worry about the vidya. You do Guru seva with your full attention.
Because vidya without seva equals hankar.
Yeah, it becomes poison.
Even though kung fu masters, they made the vidyarthis go and do mad seva, clean the floor, do certain seva before they gifted the art of kung fu, because it would keep them nimrata and they would look after it. If you get something free, you get something quickly, you get je amrit visheti shikata, je sikhi vidya visheti deti, the people don't have qadar and they don't respect and hankar vada.
Bilkul. Yeah. So good. Any other questions that we had?
No, let's go forward, man.
Let's go forward.
You can ask questions, but let's go forward.
We'll probably have another whole a podcast on this. So today, what Bhai Daya, and I request Bhai Daya Singh Ji, please help us. These are your bhajan, Kavi Santokh Singh Ji, Gyani Sher Singh Ji Maharaj, right? Please help us in doing this task so the vidya goes to the masses. May people understand this. We're nothing. We're just fireflies in front of you guys. Mahartand Vidya, Mahartand Bhai Daya Singh Ji, he's the same group of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. What can we say, right? So this one is Vedanta Vichar. So one thing I do want to say to everybody is that understand that Bhai Daya Singh Ji is telling the Sikhs the different ideologies that exist in the world that help people get to Brahm Gyan. Now, like I said, I think this is the last one. After that, he's going to start Gurmat Siddhant, which you'll realize is not really that different from Vedanta. There's minor additions, I would say, not changes, additions. And this is the reason why you'll see why Vedanta is. You can see the definitions of Vedanta in Gurbani, especially in Bhagdandi Bani. Right, you'll see the same definitions. So this is going to be all definitions, but we're going to expand on each definition as we do it. So, Bhai Daya Singh Ji starts the first one, the Guru. Who is the Guru? He says the Guru is the idol of the Gyan of Ishwar and is the form of Brahm itself. Right. So take a kind of think about that now. I remember we were discussing who is Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Right. It says the Akal Purkh has the Ishwar Tat inside Maya. But then the Ishwar also has the Gyan from Akal Purkh, from Brahm, telling Ishwar who Ishwar really is. That particular power is what we call the Guru. I am the Brahm, right? According to, now this again, these are all definitions according to Vedanta, right? So I am the Brahm. That is the Gyan, okay? The Guru helps the Sikh cross this world. The Satguru is the supreme. Other gurus who do not have the Brahm Gyan, they are just give and take, just transaction. They're not Gyan. And we're going to discuss all the different types of gurus in this one as well. So understand this. According to Vedanta, the Gyan was given to Ishwar. And then, as Gita says, Ishwar gave it to the Surya gave it to Ikshavaku. That's a whole different line. But then what happened was the Gyan came, and then the form of Ishwar that was created. Now, according to Vedanta again, there was Shiva, and you had Vishnu, and then you had Brahma, right? Narayan, the Gyan came out of Narayan's mouth because they say the Veds are the breath of Narayan, right? So Narayan is Vishnu, or Mahavishnu, you want to call him. And then they came out of his mouth, and then Brahma wrote him down, and then Brahma said him, and then Shiva heard him. And then, what is it? Ved Puran Simrat Sudhakar, Kine Ram Naam Ek Akhar. When Shiva heard the Gyan from Brahma, he heard Ved Puran Simrat Sudhakar, Sudh Akshar. Sudhakar means the true. He took out two pure words. What were they? Kine Ram Naam Ek Akhar. He said Ram when he heard the Veds. Shiva. What did Ram mean? Ram meant the Brahm is omnipresent. Ramya hoya, existing in everything, right? So what happened? They had to start the Guru Pranali of the Shish Guru Parampara, Guru Shish Parampara. So what happened? Vishnu made Shiva his Guru, and Shiva made Vishnu his Guru. Because Shiva was Tamoguni, Vishnu went dark in color. And because Vishnu was Satoguni, Shiva became white in color. This is the reason why Shiva is shown as white sometimes. Like in statues and stuff, you'll see that. And then Vishnu is shown as a darker color. But don't worry, I'm on the same line. And then from that point on, the Guru Shish Pranali started, right? Kashyap, you had Angira, you had Vyas, you had Dron. These guys are all from that Guru Pranali. And every avatar that Ishwar ever took had to tar one of these gurus from the Guru Shish Pranali in order to become complete. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was the one at the top who started it. This is the reason why Akal Purkh is Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Guru. Right? So this is the supreme Satguru. Guru Nanak Dev Ji is the supreme. Right? So then the next definition is, who is the Sikh? The one who has Vivek, Virag, Mukta, Khat Sampati, Samadam, Upramata, Tatiksha, Sharda, Samadhan, the sadhan Chatushtai basically, right? And we're going to discuss these in further near the end. So only such a Sikh can obtain mukti. The other Sikhs are only concerned with their bodies. They live by their bodies. They see their body as real, right? They spend lots of time and money in making their body well, in educating the body, and you're going to be leaving everything anyways, and you're only going to be, as I say, that the famous Qawwali from Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan Sahab, ਉੱਥੇ ਅੰਬਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੋਣੇ ਨੇ ਨਬੇੜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਜਾਤ ਪੁੱਛਣੀ. Right? So then, what does the Guru do? The Guru gives the Updesh, that which explains what the Atma and Anatma is. What is the Brahm, and what is it that is not the Brahm? Right? This Updesh destroys the Agyan in the heart, which helps to know the real self, which destroys the bondages of attachment, hate, and hatred. This is the Updesh. The Guru's Updesh is what? Every time the word, Guru gave me the Gyan, Guru gave me the Updesh and Gurbani, that's just exactly what it's pointing towards. Showing you what is real, ergo, which is Brahm, and what is not real, which is not Brahm. That is the Updesh. And then how does a Guru take the Shish on, the Sikh on? By giving them Dikhya, right? By giving the Bimal Gyan, the Gyan without Avidya and Mal, the filth of karma, by the Brahmaneshti Guru. Okay, now there's two types of gurus, the Brahmaneshti and Brahmsarotri. We're going to define, those definitions are going to come up later on in this chapter. But the Brahmaneshti is the one who knows Brahm. You know, one who has met the Brahm, not just, you know, read it in a kitab and understands who Brahm is, right? That's the difference between Proksh and Aproksh Brahm Gyan. There's one person who's read the theory, and then there's one person who actually done the practical. So the Brahmaneshti is the one who's actually met the Guru.
He's not just a teacher, he's established.
Exactly. So destroying the pain of being born and dying, right? That is the aim of the Diksha, of the Upadesh. That is called the Diksha. And how does he do it? He gives the mantra. Now, interesting. This is coming straight from the Veda Sruti, Vyasaji's Brahm Sutras, Stotras, right? And everything that Bhai Daya Singh Ji is saying, there's actually a Struti in the Veds for this. This is where people get a little shocked. Well, we thought the Vedas were all about Karmakand.
Yeah.
No. The Vedanta portion actually condemns the Karmakand, which is the funny part. Right? Like we said, like there's around, I think, 1 lakh Strutiyan of the Vedas, and I think it's about, I might have the numbers wrong, but 80,000 is about Karmakand. If you want a boy, if you want to have a daughter, if you want to have money, if you yaga karo, feed the birds, feed the dogs, that's 80,000. And then you have around 14,000 or 16,000 that are just upasana. They're singing the praises of all the devtas, of all the forms of Brahm itself. And then you have 4,000 Strutiyan who are which are called the Upanishads, right? Which only talk about Brahm, and they condemn everything. They condemn the Upasana. They don't condemn they don't really condemn the Upasana, but they kind of talk about, you know, there's only one, there's no two, right? So understand the Brahm. So yeah, and the mantra, the supreme mantra is Satanam, whose Simran gives the home of bliss, which gives you bliss, right? I remember we were talking that before. What does the mantra do? Mantra creates prema bhakti. Prema bhakti cleans the buddhi, cleans the mind, and the atma just shines through like a lampshade, right? There's a lampshade, then you have a lampshade made of glass, which is clear, right? That's the clean buddhi. The light bulb just shines right through, right? And then after the mantra, you have the Advaita, which are the mantras of the Vedanta. The words that do not have Dvat, duality, Tattvam Asi, you are the Brahm. Listen, O Sikhs. Aham Brahmasmi, I am the Brahm. This is the mantra of the Mahavaks. Right? So then, now this is Vedantic knowledge, which he kind of sets the foundation of, but then explains it what Vedanta actually means when they talk about it. So they have varans, right? And what's a varan? You know, have Khatri, Brahman, Sudra, Vash.
Yeah.
So what is that? What did the Vedanta actually talk about? And we kind of internalize it in a different way when we live life. He said, from Prakriti, from nature, Satogun is the supreme. The Brahman was created from the Satogun, right? With the combination of Satogun and Rajogun, the Kshatriyas were created.
So from that Satogun, that Gyan, and the Rajogun, that action,
ambition, drive, right? The Kshatriya were made. The Vaishyas were made from combination of Rajogun and Tamogun, right? The Shudras were made of Tamogun. Now they're going to explain what we're talking about here. These are the castes made from the three guns in nature. By the karam of the varans, the varans are defined. They're defined on they're talking about personalities. This is what we come to understand. They're not talking about which family you were born in. He's talking about personalities here. So you can otherwise consider that there are only two castes, Brahman and Chandal, Shudra. The one who knows a Brahm is the Brahman. The Vedas and Guru Granth Sahib Ji state this clearly. Kabir Ji says, Kaho Kabir jo Brahm bichare, so Brahman kahiyat hai hamare. The one who lives in the Satogun, thinks in the Satogun, that is the true Brahman. The one who only sees his body or her body and beautifies it and only works to gain education for status, for power, that is the Shudra. Not the low caste Dalit, not the one who was born in a family of Dalits or Shudras, as we call it, but the one who only thinks about the body, that is the Shudra. The one who is always thinking about the Brahm, and doing Brahmachintan all the time, that is the true Brahman. Right? So then after that, ashram. You hear this word in Gurbani quite a bit. Char ashram. What are they? We'll go in detail. So char ashram, brahmachari, grist, banprasth, and sannyas. Okay? And then if it says one rises above the ego of the ashram, they are known as the ati varanashram, one who only sees the Brahm. So who's the brahmachari? The brahmachari is the student marked by chastity. Okay, they are to be there. Stay away with pleasures. Their devotion and obedience is to the guru. They're the learning phase.
They're in that discipline, that study.
Learning. Fir aya gristi, the married householder, begetting of children. Is begetting a real word?
Yeah.
So, sometimes I was like writing this, and sometimes like I get this, listening to the translation. I don't know where, but these words come up, and then look back. I was like, "Wow, that's pretty brilliant." I can honestly say I didn't write this. It was either Kavi Santokh Singh ji or Bhai Daya Singh ji or Gyani ji coming into my body and write this. I'm telling you, I mean, this vessel you see here is really impure. Like it's filled with Nindya Chugli.
You know what? Saying that many writers say the same thing. Like they go on a flow state. Even Tupac said that, like, I close my eyes and I let the Lord do His thing when He's writing. So
exactly,
you just give yourself to that flow and jo aa gaya.
And this is why I'm encouraging everybody else to do this practice that I did. I'm pretty sure you guys are much more cleaner vessels than him. So who knows? Some magical stuff will come out, right? So, anyways,
saying that, I often say, like, kids camps, give them a sheet of paper and say, write about now.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Naam is the biggest concept in Sikhi. Every single Ang of Guru Granth Sahib talks about Naam. What can you write about Naam? And we find it to write a sentence or two. And it is when you study, you can write more, you can develop more, you can look at it. So writing is very important. And I think writing has disappeared from
yes.
Aatam. Like at school, like normal school, you read and write. Now even Santha is just reading. We should learn to write as well. Write the shabads as well. There's something about writing the shabad that it writes it in your heart. Lik naam salah lik antana paravar Guru Nanak Dev Ji's first shabad de uchar.
Real. So yeah, it's really interesting. So anyways, begetting of children. This is the focus of Gristi. Yeah. And I'm sorry if I hurt some English major or English PhD person, but hey, this word came to me.
We ain't got no English majors listening.
That's fine. So the begetting of children, sustaining the family, the support of saints and scholars. This is very important. So what's the dharma of the Gristi? To earn and provide for your family and to feed the saints. Right? Now, they say not to... I mean, yeah, you need to save for tomorrow or something or other, but then sometimes we're just so caught up in, making our bank account go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, what's the point if it's not used for dharam, right? Sar Kutavli clearly says it, like any money that's used for anything else rather than the sustaining of the sons is a waste, right? And, is spending on dharam so Satogun grows in the world, right? That's what money should be spent on.
And it's the best bargain we can do in this dunya. And most people listening, we're caught up in this Gristi householder life, so it's quite important that we remember to spend on dharam.
Yeah, and I remember something Baba Inderjit Singh said once. You probably heard it too, and I could be wrong when I say, I think Indar, Mandata, and I think Hagriv, they went to Brahma for Updesh. Hagriv was the leader of the dance, Mandata was the leader of the humans, and Indra obviously the king of the gods, right? And Brahma opened his eye. They asked for Updesh. They said dha dha dha, right? And then Hagriv, I think, was Daya or Daman. No, Indra was Daman, and Mandata was Dan. And then I think Hagriv was either Daya or Daman. I can't remember now. I could be wrong. Please leave a comment down below if you guys remember what the real one is. But anyways, Mandata was told to do Dan because he represented the humans. And, more so, he represented the Gristis. Right? The main dharam of the Gristis is Dan. Dan, though, you'll never be in shortage because you need money to run your household. Right. So next one, the third ashram is Banprast, the forest dweller. Now, back in the days, obviously, we don't do that now, but the forest dweller, you withdraw yourself slowly from material things. You practice solitude and you practice yoga. Now, this is the yoga. This is the Vedantic definitions, right? So you start to move away from the world. Now, this comes around the age of 50, when you become 50, right? And then by the time you hit your 70s, that's the sannyas ashram, the renouncer of all possessions, sab kuch chhadta, of wandering from place to place and begging for food. The begging for food is done to kill the remaining ego. Now, like I said, these are the definitions of Vedanta. Guru Sahib acknowledged all char asrams. The Khalsa lives a little different, but we have to understand that we still do have sannyasis. We have bihangams. You notice a lot of sampradayas, we still have that old bihangam thing. So this whole thing of kind of rejecting all the ashrams, just keeping one line, this was a post-colonial ideology that we adapted, right? You live the way you want to, but don't criticize the other ashrams, because there's some very powerful being in all ashrams, right? And then now, according to Vedanta, what is Taram? Taram is to see the Brahm as the Atma and nothing else, renouncing Anatam. Now look what it says here. It's not saying the one who believes in Sanatan. It's not saying one who believes in Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. It's not saying one who believes in Allah. It's not even talking about religion. The definition of Taram is to see the Brahm as the Atma. That's it. It's a simple definition. And then similarly, what is Ataram? When the Jeev is without the Atam Taram, of seeing the Atma as the Brahm. That is Ataram. You're going away from
that's what a lot of us are attached in. I'm this body, I'm this status, I'm this story, I'm this samprata, I'm this, and then
मैं छोटा हूँ, as Sant Darshan Singh Ji Shastri says, मैं छोटा हूँ, मैं मोटा हूँ, मैं काला हूँ, मैं गोरा हूँ.
Yeah.
You're not looking at the Atma, you're looking at the vessel the Atma sitting in. That is Ataram. Right? And then what's Maran? What does death mean? Because the Atma never dies. Right? So what is the true death? To be without the Simran of Satnam. The ugly form of death is not to do the Simran of the form of the Sat Chitanand.
That's deep. That's very deep.
Jada Simran nahi karda, o mare aaya. Siddhi gal hai. Now what's a janam? What's birth? To be immersed into the Satnam Simran and think Ang Brahm Asmi, to always think of the Brahm that is being alive. And now he goes, so what's Bik and what's Amrit? To keep coming back into the world to forget your real form, which is the reason for reincarnation over and over again, that is poison. When Gyan is achieved and one sees the real form, that is the beautiful moksha. That is Amrit. Amrit, without dying.
That's crazy. There's a shabad that came the other day in Hukam Namra Amrit Shad Kaha Bik Khai. And it makes you think though, we Amrit Shadta, Naam Shadta, Atma Shadta, and Kaha Bik Khai. We're eating up that, thinking we are this, thinking we are that, thinking and making the same mistakes in this, and we are eating that bik, that poison daily, like a buffet, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's so sneaky. It sneaks up on you.
It does.
Right?
Like just this, you explained this made me think of that Shabbat differently. I always felt of it like Amritanam, but it is Amritanam, but it's at a much deeper level. That Nam is that us, that spiritual self, that Atma, that oneness. Oh, that's sick.
And this is the cause of this, right? Because they're very simple definitions, but we don't think about them. And then when all of a sudden Bhai Daya Singh Ji is telling what the definition of those words are, now when you read Gurbani, it's a whole different experience.
Yeah, it's so much more fun.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So gun and dok, what are virtues and what is pain? To see the Atma as without any dealings, the wise ones call this gun. To see the Atma as the body of the three guns, the Gyani calls this the greatest dok.
Right.
So Atma, if you are able to see and live by your Atma, that is a virtue. If you're living and seeing the body as the Atma, that is dok, that is the pain. And what is jas? What is apajas? Right? What is praise? What is slander? When the Gyan is achieved and one is Jivan Mukt, that person is praised in the world. Right? Was it Sache Marg Chaldiyan? Ustat Kare Jahan. Right? To not have the Jivan Mukt Aatam Gyan, this is the greatest slander, the greatest apajas. Right? Who is a Pandit? Who is a Sant? The Buddhi, which is always drenched in Brahm thought, just like Brahma and Sheshnag, continuously sitting in the thought of Brahm and focused on the one that is the Pandit, that is a Sant. Now, I remember there's a Hukamnama, I think we talked about it in a previous podcast as well, was a Sheikh Nag Tero Marmna, Sanak Sanand Mehe Samana, Sheikh Nag Tero Marmna Jana. We very quickly dismiss everything towards Hindu mythology because, it comes in there. But we don't realize what the message is actually coming from. Who was Brahma? Like I said, Brahma was the one that heard the voice of Narayan. Narayan said the Gyan of Brahm. He wrote it and the Veds. And this is Brahma who's always doing Simran. He's always into Brahm Chintan. Sheshnag has 1,000 heads. With each head, he has 2 tongues. Because a snake, right? They have 2 tongues. So he has 2,000 tongues. And with those 2,000 tongues, he says a new name of Akal Purkh every day. And he has been doing that since time started. So think about how much of a Gyani Sheshnag is. He understands Brahm and he sings this place again. And Sheshnag has not been able to find the end of Akal Purkh. New names just keep coming. 2,000 names of Akal Purkh he says every day. And Vishnuji sits on top of Sheshnag and he listens to Sheshnag saying those new names of Akal Purkh and he's in bliss.
What a life.
Right? And then in Sarkatav, Sant Jwala Das, he says, what does Vishnuji does? He goes all day, he says he sits with Sheshnag and he listens to Brahm Katha. And then when he gets tired, holding his head up, he goes to Shiva and then he discusses more Brahm. Right? Because remember, Shiva is the Adi Yogi. He's the Adi Gyani. Right? All the gurus from Dron, Parshuram, they all point up to Shiva. He's the one, he was the original guru, right? The Adi Yogi. Anyways, so then we did the Pandit Sant. Who is the Rogi and who is the Arogi? Who is ill and who is not ill? The Jeev, which is stuck in Hangta and Mamta, right? That is the Rogi. Hangta. This is my body, right? This is me. I'm so big. I'm so educated. I'm so good. This is the Hangta, Hankar. Mamta, possessive nature. This is my body. This is my wife. These are my kids. This is my car. This is my house. Right? My.
That's like when Guru Nanak Dev Ji was quite young and they stopped eating, stopped seeing people. And jida Srir Sokh Gaya Si, Mata Ji fought with Guru Sahib Bamar Ho Gaye. And they called the doctor. When the doctor came and grabbed Maharaj's arm to read the post, Maharaj ucharde vi Ved blaya Vedgi Role Ba Ulla Ved na Jane. That, you know what? You've come to do your doctorate, but you don't understand the true illness, the sickness is the ego.
Yeah. Karka kare jemai. Haji. Kende o rogi hai. The one who is without the abman of Hangta and Mamta is the Gyan form. That person is the Arogi. The Buddhi stuck in Anatam is the Rogi. The Buddhi immersed in the Brahm is the Arogi. Alright? And that beautiful, beautiful definitions by Daya Singh Ji saying here. Like he's explaining Vedanta and it's just holy cows. Right? And I just imagine how the Sikhs sitting there like, you know. That would be, 200-300 years later, we're sitting here defined in English and it's still affecting us.
And I was saying that I would have been knocking the guy next to me, yaar, murke samjhamne samjh. The kids at the back.
You, me both, man. So then he says, who is the dhani, who is the wealthy, and who is the nirdhani, who is without wealth? One who understands the Atma is the dhani. Without knowing the Anatam is poor. I heard, I was scrolling through one day my YouTubes, and a short came, and I think it was a bhajan, but it was beautiful. It went something like Nirdhan kahe dhanvan sukhi. So the person who doesn't have money says the person with money is sukhi, right?
Yeah.
Dhani kahe nirdhan kahe dhanvan sukhi. Dhani kahe sukh raja ko bhari. Right? And then the wealthy person saying, no, I'm not happy. The Raja is happy. Right? Raja kahe sukh dhanvan nirdhan kahe dhanvan sukhi. Dhanvan kahe sukh raja ko bhari. Raja kahe chaturvarti sukhi. He says the Chakravarti Raja is Sukhi. The small Raja, right? Because Chakravarti, I think by definition, is the one who's worn like all four directions. Chakravarti, Sukhi, right? And then Chakravarti ka hai, Sukh Indra ko bhari. He goes, Indra is Sukhi because he has all the pleasures of heaven. And then when you ask Indra, who is actually Sukhi, and then Indra ka hai, Shri Ram Sukhi. And then what does Shri Ram say? He goes, Shri Ram kahe sukh sant ko bhari. Shri Ramji says, no, the sant is sukhi, right? And then I think as he goes, asant kahe sukh sant ko bhari, santosh bina sab duniya dukhari. Santokh de bina koi bhi sukhi nahi hai. Bina santokh nahi ko raja.
Yeah.
So santokh hi jada ohi sukhi hai.
It's true.
It doesn't matter how much money you have, right? How much of a Gyani you become or something. But the one
And
that
how do you get Santokh?
through the mantra of the Guru,
Yeah.
right? And then beautiful, just beautiful.
Wow.
Without knowing the Atma, one is poor. Nishkamta, selflessness. The Jagyasu who wishes to be rid of the bonds of being born and dying again and becomes Mukt. Their actions are the highest and without desires. So remember we were talking about the Sanchit Karam and the Kiryaman Karam? Yeah, the Brahmgyani has none of the because the Brahmgyani is not acting from the desire or ego. It just the Brahmgyani just reacts with the world. That's it. Right?
Is that true selflessness? And I often vichar and I laugh. That true selflessness, like some people do seva and they say, oh, it's Nishkam seva. But the true selflessness, you don't even say it's Nishkam seva, you just do it.
You just do it.
All in the Lord.
No, right? They do actions according to the Vedas and Shastras. They do not wish for results. That is a Nishkamta. And remember, this is the Vedas are saying now. Remember,
go on.
I don't know. I was saying because, and one of the things that the Upanishads say is that if you are going to do yags for sons and daughters, if you're going to do a yag to make your kingdom bigger, then you can forget mukti, because Ishwar is not happy with you asking for things. Ishwar is only happy when you are humble and you have santokh, right? When you are living with enough, jo aya, right? Ode naal khush rehna. So then now we're going to get into the punch.
One thing about Nishkam, so I saw a picture yesterday of someone like planting a tree, old Bajorg planting a tree, and I thought that's true Nishkam Seva, because you planted a tree of the shade you will never sit under, of the fruit you will never taste. That is for the next generations. You're doing it totally without any connectedness. And I thought, wow, that's beautiful.
So it's funny because Kyani Sansinghi Maskeen came to Scarborough. I think this is a good 35 years ago. And then he was saying that in Rajasthan, they consider the imli, tamarind tree, to be nash. They consider it to be like bad because he goes, he asked somebody there, and the person goes, oh, iska phal dhani nahi khayega, in the Rajasthani boli, right? And sorry, I think, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back. You froze for a moment.
Okay. Yeah, so the person goes, iska phal dhani nahi khayega. And then he goes, well, what do you mean by that? He goes, because anybody, when you plant the imli tree, the tamarind tree, the fruit grows after 35 years.
Wow.
So if you're planting tamarind, that is true Nishkam Seva. Right? So,
and it's like the Christians say it as well. I think Jesse said it in the Bible. The right hand shouldn't see what the left hand does, or like give without speaking about it.
in Hindi, there's actually saying "Neki kar darya mein dal."
I don't know what that
Do
means. I
good.
just said laugh for no reason.
That's hilarious. Neki means do good, but throw it into the river. Darya mein dal. Like don't worry about it. चंगा काम ते ओदी memory सुट दे बस that you ever did that you did good guy, right?
Keeps you humble.
Keeps you humble. So then Bhai Daya Singh ji goes into Panchakaram. These are the Panchakaram described as in Vedanta. And they're saying this is 5 types of karma. Don't be confused with the prarabdha, sanchit, and kiryaman. This is different type of karma we're talking about now. There's
This is talking about like actions, huh? Just
actions. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's nitya There's 5 of them. There's nitya Nitkaram means the actions which are done daily for your well-being, like bathing, reciting Gurbani, karams of Sandhya, like Sandhya Mila Dara Sapat, right? And in the Vedic culture, you do Sandhya. We do Raras, they do Sandhya. Sandhya means evening, right? And the Simran of Satanam, these are all Nitkarams. Namitkaram are something you do for others, which are, doing charades or actions for others. This is, like again, we're talking... Yeah, we're talking about Vedantic definitions, right? And the reason why you need to know this is because they come up in Gurbani. Either Guru Sahib is telling you the truth about them, or he just wants you to understand them. So it's good to know the definitions, right? Doing charades or actions for others, that is called the Namit Karam, right? Then there's Prayishchit Karam, repentance, such as, like, you've done something bad, or, adapa tankha dende, right? Yeah. Or, you're serving time or whatever it is, right? There's a concept in the Vedas called the Chandrayan Vart, where they do repentance, and it goes on for, I don't know how many months. I think it goes on for a whole month, but they literally they start with like 15 morsels of food, and they kind of decrease it by the day as the moon goes to no moon, and then they increase it again. That it's a really intense fasting thing.
Do we have something in Sikhi for this, like, or is it just?
We don't really go with fasting.
Like as in repentance.
Gurbani padho, seva karo. Right? You've done something, we go in front of the Panch Pyare and ho gaya, ya sudai karai, ya kurat ho gayi, right? Right, and then give you. By the way, I mean, I've seen a whole culture of kind of people keep on returning to Peshi. That's not a good thing. I remember Gyani Pindarpal Singh ji said that. He goes, you're basically, if you've done a Kurat and you've gone back for Peshi, I mean, you should go back if you did a Kurat, but it's like you've basically put a stitch on your cloth, right? And then Gyani Pindarpal Singh ji said, he goes, since when does a stitch look good? Right? So think about that before people, kind of go for Kurats and stuff, right? First of all, don't tear your clothes. And then secondly, stitch is never going to look good. It's going to be always there. So watch that, right? And then we have Upashna Karam, to do the puja of your Isht. Now, in Suj Prakash Gatha, we've talked about the 9 types of Bhakti, right? Now, this is where Upashna Karam come, like, doing Matha Tek, doing Prakarma of Guru Sahib, right? Doing Arti Arta, right? Doing shower of flowers, right? Spraying, scents and good smelling incenses. These are all Upashna Karam. We've, in this century, I don't want to keep on blaming colonialism, or that we've taken on a very a mentality that's kind of very stringent in that sense. We're like anti-ritual, anti rites and ritual kind of mentality. I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I don't want to assault any Jathebandi or any religion. But these you give flowers on Valentine's Day to your wife. You can easily say, or your spouse or your significant other, right, or your husband, whatever. You can easily say that, why do you need to show your love with a flower? Isn't the mind good enough? Right? But we do. We show it, right? We want to show it, right? We sing. We do kirtan. That's upasana, right? These are all upasana karams,
Like even matha taking.
Matha taking, yeah. Doing parkarma.
Mm.
I've seen some people do 4 parkarmas of Guru Granth Sahib Ji because that's their upasana.
Mm.
I remember at Scarborough Gurdwara, there used to be one Singh. He used to come and he used to do 4 parkarmas, right? And when they asked him why, they're like, yeah, he goes, there was a Puratan Maryada of doing 4 prakarmas of Harmandir Sahib. So I guess, some Puratan people just do 1 now, I guess, when they go to Harmandir Sahib. But yeah, and I remember in Suj Prakash Granth as well, it's written that every time the Guru Sahibs went to do Matha Tek and Harmandir Sahib, they did like 4 prakarmas of Harmandir Sahib of the Sarovar and Harmandir Sahib before they went inside, right? That's their upasana. That's their love, right? They're doing bhakti while they're doing this upasana. And remember, it makes your mind clear. It cleans your mind. Prema bhakti, any form of prema bhakti, right? And some people.
Even these things, I think most people listening will be like, yo, that's what I'm gonna do from now on. मैं भी चार करेंगे दरबार साहब जाके गुरु साहब में मिलन वास्ते. Like it's प्यार दियां खेड़ा यार.
Courtesy of the podcast of Man Singh and Jaswinder Singh. Eh?
So we get 10% of the funnel.
Just before we started, we're saying, I had the chola on today. I'm like, people can be like, oh, these guys are slowly going towards a saint thing, eh? By the end. No, there's I remember this early 90s. And I think the Kumbh Mela had come around then, and I remember watching on the news or, visions of, we used to have the shows in Canada, Eye on Asia or something. I forget which show it was, Doordarshan. And then they showed the Kumbh Mela, and then they showed like some of these sadhus. Like one person just did Matha Tek, Gara, Matha Tek, and he traveled from his home all the way to the Kumbh Mela like that. And then there was one person who kept his hand up for 14 years, right?
Yeah. And you see I remember all folded over with the nails and everything, craziness.
And then I go to Baba Inderjit Singh Ji. I go, Maharaj, I go, dekho, I ki pakhand kar dene, hai na? And then he got mad at me. He goes, pakhand kitho hoya? He goes, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਛਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਿਆਰ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਾਸ਼ਨਾ. He goes, pakhand te hoye na? If during the day he keeps his hand up in the air to show people, and then at night time he puts it down. He goes, that's pakhand. He goes,
to win people over.
Yeah, right? He goes, you're lying. That's facade. That's deceit. He goes, but if somebody has decided to do Matha Tek all the way slowly from their house to Banaras or wherever, Tam or Tirtha they go, he goes, that's not Pakhand, that's Upasana.
That's the love story.
That's a love, right? And and you see people doing certain things in the Gurdwara where they're just showing, I remember there's one BB she used to do when she did Parkarma of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. She did Matha Tek at all 4 corners. It was her upasana. That's her love that she's showing to the Guru, right? Who are we to say anything if it's Pakhand or not, right?
And that's the thing with trying to school or trying to please people's love. We cannot do that. We job karke bete raho, apna karo, and let people love how they want. There's another Guru ya another Parameshwar, let them have that relationship and show it how they want.
Yeah, remember that. I don't know if you've heard that Saki or something or other, where this used to be this husband who used to keep a little pin with him all the time, and then when he was dying, his wife asked him, "He's like, why did you always keep a pin with you?" Or she was dying, I think. I said, "Why did you keep a pin?" And he said that the food that you used to cook for me was so precious to me that I didn't even want like a single, like a gram or crumb to go out of my plate, so I used to pick it up with a pin, right? So it depends how you show your love, right? So. Anyways, so moving on. So the Upasana Karam is to the puja of your Isht, right? There's 9 types of bhakti. I won't get into that right now. And then it says these 4 karams should always be done. Okay, by doing these karams, the heart will become without desire. It will become nishkam. This is how you were asking how does it become nishkam? Doing these 5 karams, right? The nitya karam, nityanem, right? Bathing on time, reciting Gurbani, right? Simran, namitta karam, पाठ कराने दूजियां वास्ते सेवा करनी, right? Prashchit karam if you've done something bad, do that. Upasana karam, puja of your Ishta. So these should always be done. These they make you nishkam. Okay? And the jeev will become well. One should give one's actions to the Parmeshwar or Satguru by being selfless. The bondage of karam will break in this way. The 5th karam is a nakid karam. The very bad thing to have an affair with another woman or a man, and such other, karaitan karaniya, right? Never take on such karams if you wish for mukti. By doing bhakti, yag, and nishkam karam, the antash karam becomes pure and beautiful, just as dirty clothes are made clean with soap. The nishkam karana pashna makes the Ishwar happy upon you. Now, I know we said bhakti, yag. There's different types of yag. We won't get into them, but just to kind of, in a nutshell, in the Gita, or describe, there's tapo yag, gyan yag, right? Drava yag. There's different types of yags that are described. We're not going to get into that. They'll come later on. But that's what they mean.
I was just thinking, as you're talking about the four karams, like the nitya karam, the matha taking, the arti. Well, why do we do all these things? And I was thinking, we do them not because God needs them, not because Parameshwar needs them. It's because we need them. And yeah, and it is like sometimes, to put it on a very simplistic, childlike level, we brush our teeth not because the toothbrush needs it, because our teeth need it. It's the same way we do these things not because Parameshwar needs it. We need it. Asanudi Loria to do this, to make our heart nishkam, to make ourselves in this way closer to Parameshwar, into the realization of Parameshwar.
I'm glad you actually brought up that point, because if everybody comes together and praises the Lord, it does not make the Lord bigger, or does not make the Lord smaller.
It can't be bigger. What can we do? Who are we?
Yeah. But then why? Why do we need to praise Akal Purakh, right? Nirpo jape, sagalpo mite. Right? When you call Akal Purakh Nirpo, Nirvair, right? We become Nirpo, we become Nirvair. Right? We do the puja. Whoever you idolize, you become like them. I remember when we were small, we used to learn Gatka from Baba Jaswant Singh Ji. Baba Jaswant Singh Ji almost taught everybody in Toronto. But so, and he had some like really traits that, I mean, you would find them a little weird, but we loved them because we loved him. So when he used to, chaka, right? And we didn't realize it, but we started doing that too with the eyebrows when we did Gatka. Right? Wait, who you idolize, right? You take on their traits, right? Even there's a certain time when I used to give a small speech or something or other. A lot of people used to tell me that I sound like, or I speak like my Tayaji, because my Tayaji was a very learned man. He knew Gurbani, he knows Gurbani very well, and he used to give a lot of kathas and stuff. So I used to spend a lot of time with him, and after a while I started talking to him, and then and then Baba Inderjeet Singh Ji came into the picture. Then I started talking like him, and now I don't know, but my kids say I sound like him sometimes. I'm like, is this natural? My kind of voice went weird after COVID, and then I don't know. I listened to him a lot. So
it's a beautiful thing. Those who you like people say you're an amalgamation of the people you spend so much time with, and we want to spend time with the people we look up to.
Yeah,
and you do become like them. You do copy their walk, talk, and that's why living in Sangat and the Dalim place is very important, because you pick up how to do seva, you see their drishti. If they see a job, they just get up and do it, and you start doing that, and you can tell the difference between someone who's had an ustad, lived in Sangat, lived in the Dal, and those who haven't. Those who haven't are crazy. They're full of they're just crazy. But janane reya dekhya, you can see a different type of nimrata and seva in them, which is beautiful just to watch and learn from it, and very inspiring.
And you admire the littlest gestures that when Gyaniji moves his hand slowly, he moves slowly, talks slowly, the way he tilts his head in Sangha, he's holding a mala, right? All these things, you kind of just fall in love with every little single thing there. The way he holds his glass, I can picture it in my mind right now. Right, the way he's eating, the way he does his jonkra, the way he jokes around, even the way he gets angry sometimes, right? And we find everything beautiful, right? His eyes, his glasses, right? I didn't notice it, but my wife pointed out. She's like, "Oh, do you realize you have the same kind of frame as Gyaniji this time around?" I didn't even notice. I subconsciously picked it out. Usually I wear like a whole smaller square thing, but I don't know. I got this frame this time. I didn't even know. And then when Gyaniji came, like, and then she pointed out, she's like, "Oh, you have the same frame as him, even kind of the same color." I'm like, "Oops." No. There's nothing wrong with loving your guru to that. It's not obsession. It's not obsession. It's not obsession.
But
It's good.
When you read like Suraj Prakash descriptions of Guru Har Gobind Sahib, the way Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji walked and entered the darbar with the
elephant style.
All these
the elephant style walk.
Yeah, you're like, wow.
7 feet tall, right? He's a good 1.5 feet taller than everybody. Huge, broad shoulders. He's walking like this. Even Gurdev Bahadur Sahib, same exact same form as his father, right?
And listening to the katha, you just imagine it, and you're just like, whoa.
Holy cows, man!
You try and emulate stuff like that. You're so in love with the Guru that you just want to see that, and it's man.
Oh, I picture Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji all the time. I try to, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji is my isht. I know we're not supposed to see the Gurus as different, but it is what it is. I'm guilty.
And like this, the one thing that we don't talk about often, like how their voice sounded. Because those things sounds like thunder, and I always think like
thunder, roll, rumbling thunder. He sounds like this when he talked. Yeah.
And imagine Guru Nanak Dev Ji's voice.
Yeah.
Maharaj Sankirtan.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine how great it would have been. It's just a different level. I don't think I'd be able to hack it. I think I'd die on hearing one Shabad.
No, that's Upasana. Yeah. But anyways, yes. That's Upasana. That's a form of bhakti though. To admire your guru. The prema bhakti, just thinking about your guru, it makes your heart pure. Right? And that's all you need. That is what prema bhakti is, right? You just the mind is pure, the buddhi is pure. Just thinking about the guru, that's all you need to do. Simran, right? Simran of the guru. Simran means to remember. That's it. Right? And doing Brahmachintan all the time. I'm just saying, if you can listen to, Suj Prakash Granth 24/7, why wouldn't you get mukti? Right? So
and
moving on.
I just a thought popped into my head, like a vision.
By all means.
And I saw, obviously in the Dal, after Baba Surjit Singh had done Chadai, and even when Baba Surjit Singh was in jail, Baba, he was the Korean Jathadar.
Baba Bahadur Singh Ji?
Yeah, Baba Bahadur Singh Ji. Amrit Vela, they tie the Damala and everything, sit on the asan, and they'd put a photo of Baba Surjit Singh on a chair with the Ramala, and it'd sit, and then he'd do Simran.
Simran.
The picture of Baba Ji, and he's just like,
yeah,
wow, that's the pyar. He had that every day. He did Prakash of the photo and put it, and then done his bhakti. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Baba Gurban Singh used to talk a lot about Baba Surjit Singh Ji as well. He spent a lot of time with him.
Yeah, Baba Gurban Singh's, I'd never got to ever see them, but they when they spoke, there's a lot of mityas and love, and they kind of like shined when they spoke about Baba.
When Baba Gurban Singh spoke, it was like freaking Indra speaking. Oh, Chardi Kala. Kadi Tendi Kala. I never heard him do anybody's in India. Baba Gurban Singh, he always spoke. Even if he kind of said something about something, Baba ye jathe bandi wali eda kade. Oh, nee, Guru Nanak de Sikhan hai.
Baba was so smart, even though he had his top button done, and
titch fit. Pura hai. Not a lad out of place. Sant sunt, pura Raja Jogi.
The discipline which are not the cost.
Raja Jogi.
Yeah.
It's like, ਵੱਡੇ ਬਾਬੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੇ ਬੁੱਢਾ ਦਾਲਿਆਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਹੀ ਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ.
Like he was in love every day. You could just say, this guy's in love.
Yeah, that was Baba. He was taken away too prematurely from us. Yeah, I still miss him. Everybody in Toronto misses him. But what can you do in this Pana Akal Purkh da? Yeah. So we're going into now the Char Sadhan. So as promised, we were going to talk about this in detail. So the Char, remember, there's four main sadhans. Now these are the ways of what a Sikh should be like, who is going to be getting mukti. Make the four sadhans come into your heart like cleaning a field to grow food. Okay, so we have virag. Bring virag into your heart. What is virag? See the pleasure, the definition of virag. See the pleasures of heaven as nothing but crow feces. Why crow feces? Because crows already eat feces, and their feces is feces squared, right? Double the feces, right? So see the pleasures, of up to heaven, to Brahmlok, whatever, everything you can have. See them as crow feces, not wishing to have anything, no status.
In line with that, Raj na chao, Mukta na
Mukta na chao.
We don't want nothing.
We don't want nothing. Kuch cheez di ichha nahi rakhni. Remember, we talked about this in the previous podcast, is Maya was made through ichha, right? मैं एक से बहुत हो जाऊं, right? मैं एक तो मैं बहुत हो जाऊं, खेल खेला तो go for एक, right? Ichha was the thing that made Maya, right? So get rid of the ichha and you'll go backwards, right? The joy of the vishas, all of the senses of the indriyas, these are the vishas, right? From every dimension, see them all as vomit and don't wish for them. This is virag. So what is the truth? What is myth? What is infinite? And what is finite? What is forever? What is limited? This is Vivek. Vivek is to see this.
No. Give me some time after Drata.
You okay?
You know what it is? It's dark, yeah. And the kids are running around downstairs. I was like, go back up to sleep. Sorry about that.
No worries. It's all good. We're Mustan and Yang Singh. Right. So the Vivek is the second sadhan. To see the Sat and Asat as we talked about it. See your true form as the Atma, which is forever lasting. It will always be. You will always be. You're never going to die. To see, and then this is Krishna says this to Arjun in the Mahabharata too. Hey Krishna, the Atma never dies. You will never die. I will never die. I remember all my births, but you don't. That's the only difference, right? See your true form as the Atma, which is forever lasting. It will always be. To see true and false as the same. Now this we're talking about the world. That is mithya, the myth, right? When the support is considered the truth, the illusion is seen as the truth. That is mithya. Just as a snake is seen in the rope, right? And the silver in the seashell. You see the jewelry, but not the gold, right? The jeweler only sees gold. They don't see earrings, bracelets. Right? They just see ikkoi nazar aanda, right? It's just Brahm everything. We're seeing house, car, computer, phone, watch, right? But it's actually all just Brahm. This is Vivek, right? The Atma is the truth in every form. The body and the world are both illusion. To think like this is the Vivek. This is the second sadhan. The third sadhan is Khat Sampati, the 6 wealths, right? It's kind of 6 in 1. We just say 1, but it's actually 6, right? Some, the desires of the man, to let them go. Dam, to stop the indriyas from desires. That's dam. Uprati, or upramta, if one achieves something, to remain indifferent, not joy, no pain. Gain, loss is the same.
Jo nar dukh mein dukh nahi.
Dukh nahi maan hai, sukh se nahi aur pe nahi jaage. Kanchan mati maan hai. Kanchan gold, mati. See it as dirt. It's the same to you. Ikkoi gal hai, right? That is upramta or uprati, the same thing. Tatiksha, to feel cold and hot as the same, tolerating everything. Sukh, dukh is the same to you. That is tatiksha, right? Tera kiya meetha lage.
And you see that in the dal, pame garmi hoye, pame thand hoye, jo marji hoye, pain, comfort, apna tat nitnem, apna pera karna hai karna. It doesn't matter if it's a thunderstorm, it doesn't matter if it's machhar attack, we have that tolerance.
ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਭੁੱਖ ਲੱਗੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੜਾਕੇ ਲੱਗੇ ਨੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਗੀਰਾਂ ਲੱਗ ਗਈਆਂ ਰਾਈਟ ਜਗੀਰਾਂ ਲੱਗੀਆਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਲੰਗਰ ਮਸਤਾਨਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਲੰਗਰ ਖਤਮ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਰਾਈਟ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਵਾਲਾ ਬੋਲੀ ਰਾਈਟ to meditate samadhan to meditate your mind onto your ishtadev that is called samadhan shraddha to have faith on the words of your guru to see them as true right. Now, not only do you need to have a shraddha on the guru, you need to have a shraddha on the granth, on the vidya that you're living, right? There's often, I remember Baba Indrajit Singh used to say, He goes, it doesn't matter who your ustad is or what you're learning. He goes, always towards your ustad or guru, ek akh kaani, ek kan bola. ठीक है?
हाँ जी.
उस्ताद ने जो सिखाया वो सीखो. उस्ताद दी लाइफ क्यों जी वो नहीं देखनी. Right? Hear what the ustad teaches you, but don't listen to, any nindya towards the ustad or anything, you hear something your ustad saying bad. Right? That's the truth of it. Nowadays, everybody wants their ustads to be pure saints.
I mean, it depends. People got ustad jumping or jatha jumping or group jumping, all these things because they don't have faith in their ustads. They don't have faith in the map that they're following to reach the destination.
Mm-hmm. And time and again, we see some akhbar coming out. Oh, Sant ne aa kita, Sant ne o kita, and all of a sudden the followers of the Sant, they just go away from Sikhi. It seems like you were always, you were into Sikhi because of Sant, right? What about Guru Gobind Singh Ji? He's pure. You should have been following Guru Gobind Singh Ji from the beginning, right? That should have been your idol.
Maharaj warns us about these types of something that these are akna pitar der kodar so log nearby. Like there's all these fakes like attached to the Sach, the truth, and it's Maharaj gives us all these things, but aur passe jai jante hain.
The Guru, there's only one pure man, right? Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Gobind Singh Ji. It's because I say that because there's one Jot, right? Don't compare any sant to them. And if you're going to break your Sikhi or you're going to leave Sikhi because of that, I think that's completely foolish. I understand you're hurt. I understand your trust has been betrayed. But Guru Gobind Singh Ji never turned his back on you. Right? He never will. Just call out to him. You'll know. Right? Sharda, right? To have faith on the words of your guru, to see them as true. This is the Khat Sampati. This is the third sadhan. And then what's the fourth one? Just as a hungry or thirsty person only wishes for food or water and nothing else, in the same way the one who wishes to see their Atma and is the Mumukshu, that is the Mumukshu. So these are the four sadhans. When the person obtains all four, one stays in the shelter of the Guru for a long time. Now this is we're talking Vedanta here now. This is actually Guru. Now this is actually like telling you what you should be doing. Now this is our last topic in this adhyaya.
So like those four are like the entry requirements to get in, Hannah?
Yeah, in I remember in some granths we're reading, sorry, in Vichar Sagar, they also call this is the form of the adhikari, who is the deserving person. Right, the deserving person to read Vichar Sagar, it says, is the person who has these four things, Char Sadhan, right? And in some they come differently. In like Vichar Chandrodaya has a different definition, but the Char Sadhans stay the same. The Khat Sampati stay the same, but they're used for different things. That's something I don't understand though. But yeah, when it comes up in Gurbani, when they talk about sadhan, when they talk about vivek, when they talk about virag, right? When they talk about mumukshu, right? These are the definitions of those words. Phir, we talked about Guru. The Guru who is Brahmneshti, the knower of Guru, and Brahm Srotri, the one who's educated in the Gyan of the Vedas or Shastras or the Granths, right? And is complete. The Sura, warrior who wins the mind, can obtain the highest status from such a Guru. If the Guru is only Srotri, right? Only education in the Gyan, one can learn the Gyan, but the pain will not go away. If the Guru is only Brahm Srotri, even then Mukti is not achieved. Right?
And there are many that are Brahm Srotri that can explain scriptures, granths, principles, but they can't.
And I remember reading in Zen Buddhism, there were a lot of bodhisattvas who were enlightened, but they could only gesture because they couldn't teach. Right? Yeah, right. Sometimes, I mean, if the shikshit, if the student is capable, they can learn like that, but it's very difficult, right? But this is what the Shrutis are saying, right? This is the ideology of the Shrutis. After reading the Vedas and the Shastras, but not seeing the Brahm in the Atma, they can dispel their own doubts but not see their Atma still, right? So this is what we call Proksh Gyan. The Proksh means the curtain, right? The Gyan is still in the curtain, but you're still a Brahm Gyani. You know that you are Brahm, but when you see Brahm, right, that is Aproksh Gyan, without the curtain, right? After reading after reading the Vedas and the Shastra, but not seeing the Brahm and the Atma, and they can dispel their own doubts, but not see this Atma still. If a traveler needs to cross a river and sees a blind ferryman, they can't see the shore. They can't cross themselves, nor can they help anyone else cross it. If another ferryman is handicapped and cannot speak, they can't help another cross either. Right? The examples are giving. One became Brahmneshti, but because they don't know the Vedas and Shastras, they can't teach anyone. They can't answer anyone's questions. The one who cannot explain the Shastras can't give mukti. Such a person can cross the river themselves, but is not competent in taking anyone else across. For this reason, listen, O Khalsa, our Guru is the home of every skill. He is the Brahmsrotri, and Brahmneshti. He is full of love, he is compassionate and gives us mukti. He is our Ishtadev as well, because we do a Pashna of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. He is the supreme form of the Satguru. He is radiant. He is the avatar of the master of the universe. He is the giver of the four padarthas. Another definition coming up. What are the four padarthas? Dharma, Arth, Kam, and Moksha. These are the four things that everybody is deserving. You deserve to have a dharma, duty. You deserve to have Arth, food. You deserve to have Kam, your needs to be fulfilled. And Moksha is actually a right you have, right? One should never leave his shelter. Do not leave the shelter of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. He gives jog in the grist pleasures. He gives mukti by his own compassion. He gives Brahm Gyan to the Sikhs in their hearts. The 10 Gurus were the same way. They blessed millions upon billions of Sikhs. The Hari took an avatar as the Guru himself. You have received the Guru who will save you. See yourselves as fortunate and with good karma. Always stay by the Guru's side. Give your body and mind to the Guru. Become his servant. You will cross the world ocean without any effort. Right? So he's describing Brahm Neshti, he's describing Brahm Sarotri. Right? There's so this is where he's talking about the Vedanta, and when you look at it, right, it's like it's not really different from what we study Gurmat as.
No, it's not.
It's the same thing, right? The concept of Guru, the concept of Mantra. In fact, this is where this is what people believed in. It's unfortunate that the whole Karma Kand thing got lightened, illuminated more. Became like a source of an India that we started doing from our stages, right? Oh, gee, like I was listening to Baba Indrajit Singh. He was talking about the Aarti, right? Gagan mein Thal. And then people were saying, oh, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਿਹੰਗ ਸਿੰਘ ਆਰਤੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਦੀਵੇ ਜਗਾ ਕੇ ਇਹ ਤੇ ਹਿੰਦੂਆਂ ਵਾਲੀ ਆਰਤੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ. Guru Sahib went to Jagannath Puri and he stopped them. And then my question is, well, if he stopped them, then why does Jagannath Puri still do aarti in the same way? And if he went to Makkah to stop them from bowing to the Kaaba, why does Muslims still bow to the Kaaba? Are you trying to tell me that Guru Nanak Dev Ji failed in his mission? Right? That's not what his thing was. He was like, don't do it as a facade. Don't do it as a ritual. Not don't do rituals. Don't do it as a ritual. Do it as an upasana. When you're doing your aarti, there's a big difference. If you're going, I mean, imagine you kind of giving your wife flowers on Valentine's just because you had to, right? And you say it, oh, I'm giving you roses just because of Valentine's Day. I had to give it. How's your wife going to feel about that one? Right? Or whatever gift you want to give her. Right? So you want to give gifts on the birthdays and because you want to, right? If you're just doing aarti yarta because you think it just needs to be done, then there's no point, right? It's just.
I do think about that sometimes, especially when I'm like doing my own. And I'm thinking, if Maharaj Ang Sangha, if they came in their form, like when they went to the masjid and they never joined in. I always think, yo, Maharaj wouldn't join in with me. Mera man kitthe purkta firda, going everywhere when I'm doing my nitnem. Maharaj wouldn't sit with me and do my nitnem because my mind isn't focused.
I don't know if we should talk about us in that case.
It's-
We're not the prime examples. I don't even know why we were chosen to do this podcast, but it is what it is.
Mhm.
Like I remember I got a few messages and saying, "Oh, it's glad to see somebody doing justice to Punjabi Rota." I'm like, really?
We're not doing justice.
We're not doing justice.
This is beyond it's beyond our grasp. Like Sikh is so beyond, and we've made it very simple. We've made it like we made it basics, but there's so much beyond the basics that's very deep that we must pay attention to.
This is just the starting point of what we're
Yeah,
kind
this is
of
basic.
you like Gyani Har Simran Singh ji, I think spends a good 40 to 50 days doing these 10 chapters. That's 40 to 50 hours. And I think Gyani Gurvinder Singh ji Nangali Sahib, he gave me.
You good? Waheguru. But Jaswinder Singh is frozen. I think he's probably saying something like, Maharaj Kirpa that you're doing this podcast with me. Don't know what he's saying really. Message I'll read it. He said he said my computer is froze. Everything good on your side, and he's dropped out. So Maharaj Kirpa is just finishing. We'll finish up here. If he's gone, he's gone. But we were just finishing up where he was talking about the Guru. The complete Guru needs to be two things: Brahm Nestri, the one who has realized Brahm Parameshwar Vaheguru directly, not through theory, belief, philosophy, or anything, but they actually climbed the mountain. They actually did it, and the Guru needs to be Brahm Sarotri. They can explain this. They can read the map. They can explain the route as well as being there themselves. And that is the true Guru. Kache Gurte Mukti na ho, a false Guru who's only one of these things. Through them, we cannot receive Mukti. So hopefully you, I just messaged him back. Hopefully you took something away from this podcast. Is Maharaj Bana at the end of Baisab dropped out. And I'll just wrap up very blessed to go on this message, go through, learn what you can, and Maharaj Kirpa Baisab back. I was just wrapping up. I thought you were gone, so I was wrapping up slightly. It just froze. But
All right,
you want to do a quick wrap up before we finish then?
can you hear me?
Yeah. Did you hear what I just said?
I didn't, but yeah, sorry, my computer kind of froze on me,
I was
but
just
I'm back.
saying, as you left, like as it froze, I was just doing a quick wrap up and finishing. So if there's anything you want to say to finish this off of what we've looked at today and what we've got to look forward to next week.
So next week, it's going to be more. Gurmat is going to begin. So this is where Bhai Daya Singh ji starts explaining Gurmat. You can hear the mic, right?
Yeah, I can hear it all.
Okay, good.
A lot of
This is
people thinking if next week's Gurmat, what's this? Are we Gurmatiya, which?
every Gurmat hai, but then remember it's not different. I think the better thing is he shows how it's not different,
हाँ जी,
right? Rather than us kind of defining one as Gurmat and one as Vedanta and one as Jog.
हाँ जी,
All the ideologies come together in Guru Granth Sahib Ji, right? And I hope people can see that before they start to criticize, Hindu, Vedic, Nihang Singh, Nirmala, Akhand Kirtani Jatha, right? Taksal. You have to look at everybody does Upasana in their own way, whether they're doing Simran through Sasgras, whether they're bobbing their head and doing Simran, right? These are all different forms of Upasana, right? And Vedant, Nirmala, and Udasis aren't any different from this, right? They all follow the same thing. The main point is to see the Atma, as Bhai Daya Singh ji clearly, demonstrated in the Adhyay, right? So this is the main message that I want from this particular Adhyay to go out to everybody, is to understand everybody before you begin to criticize, right? That's the most major thing that we can do here.
And truly, criticism a lot of the times is just Nindya.
It
And
is.
Mara just warned us about this. And if we're doing India, what aren't we doing? We're not listening, learning, growing. So what do we want to do? So whoever's listening, whoever's not listening and talking to us, was apna marji dekhe. We want to do India, we want to get caught up in that. We want to do stuff like this where we're learning, growing, and being open-minded to learn more, to be Sikh, ultimately.
Right. And we're all guilty of doing that, right? We've all done it at one point in our time, or we keep on doing it.
Oh, I do like
So
45 minutes a day, man. It feels like sometimes.
it's like a daily Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it is.
They can't be complete without doing it, right?
Mhm.
Honestly, it feels so good, right? It's like, I don't know if you like chaat papri or golgappe, but it's like in India is like, chaat papri and golgappe with ketchup. So, yeah, but yeah, no, stay away from India. Stay away from there. There's absolutely, it kind of goes against the message that Bhai Daya Singh ji. Again, what are you doing when you're doing India or talking about other people, right? You're just basically looking at your body and the world is real, right? Mithya sansar, right? Rather than trying to understand what Brahm is. Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah. Thank you, Bhai
good.
Saab. And Marv
You,
Kanda last week, things got hectic around here, loads of
oh,
meetings, stuff, wasn't able to do it. But
lots of
I
meetings.
missed this. I really enjoyed it today. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Thank you to Bhai
Definitely, I
Daya.
really enjoyed our time, man. We're gonna keep. We're halfway there. We're
Mhm.
halfway through the Panjvi Ruth. So hopefully, but the thing is, next ones might require a little bit more time, but we'll see what happens.
ठीक है जी और
Yeah.
थैंक यू मैन चंगा
Okay,
जी
ji.
वाਹਿਗੁਰੂ
Waheguru
ਜੀ
ji
ਕਾ
ka
ਖਾਲਸਾ
khalsa,
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ
Waheguru ji ki
ਫਤਿਹ
fateh.